Hello, this is Eazytarget, and I'm very excited for this new season to start up, which starts up tomorrow, Season 10, for console and PC. I'll be playing on console, and I'm here to start some people off with some tips on what they need to do to start out their season. I'm not going to go over speed builds or leveling up to 70 the fastest. I'm just going to go over some things for newbies that may just be getting into seasons for the very first time. Alright, with seasons, it starts you off from scratch. You don't get anything from your previous seasons. No gear, no mats, no crafting, anything. It's just scratch. You don't even get the cube. You have to do everything just like it was a fresh run. But you do want to be sure that you complete the story mode. Without completing the story mode, you won't have access to the adventure mode. Adventure mode is where you're going to be doing everything because you do not want to level up on story mode. Unless you really like story mode. Most people just want to get to 70 and then start the grind by doing bounties and rifts. Going through, grinding for gear, getting their builds, and then pushing the greater rifts. Alright, as you can see on here, it's telling us about the seasons for console. It goes over what seasons are. I've kind of explained that already. You keep coming down. The first thing it's saying how to create a seasonal character. To create a seasonal character is just like any other character. You press your triangle, it brings you into it. You can create a new character, whatever you want to do, barbarian, crusader, demon hunter, monk, witch doctor, or wizard. But then you just use your L1, R1, and you just move it from the regular core, Diablo, hardcore, and then the leaf is seasonal, normal, and then there's the skull with the leaf for hardcore seasonal. So they both exist. You can do whichever one you want. I just do regular. I hate dying. I always die. So hardcore is not for me. But select the one that you want. You click on it and you can create your character there. This is the first time. I haven't seen this on PC. Maybe it's there. Maybe I just overlook it. But they have a rebirth option. So you can just take one of your other characters, rebirth it for seasonal, and it will start your character out at level 1 with no gear, and you got your character ready to go, and you just start your process. And at the end of the season, it looks like it'll level you, or you already be leveled up anyways, but it'll give you all your gear back that you used to have in your mailbox or whatnot, in your inventory. You'll get that stuff back. It doesn't look like you'll be losing it, but I could be wrong. We'll see after the season's over. This is the first time, so you don't really know until it actually happens and we can actually play with it and test it. Moving down the list here, we got Seasonal Journey. Seasonal Journey is going to be the most important thing that you want to do while playing Diablo. For the first set pieces, it's going to be the easiest way to get your set pieces. So you go through the Seasonal Journey. There's different chapters. Chapter 1 doesn't give you anything, but then chapters 2, 3, and 4, they do. They give you your pieces that will complete the set. For me, which is a witch doctor, is the Zunimasa set. Once you get that set, then you can almost instantly pop into level Greater Rift 60 plus with no problem whatsoever. Doesn't matter what weapon you have. As long as you have the set bonus of the 6 set bonus, you should be good to go with that. And that's what you want to do, is go through the Seasonal Journey. It's looking like all you have to do is open up your options, look for the Seasonal Journey, and it's the common console thing where you use your left analog stick and you move it around the little circle and you select a different section of this Seasonal Journey. I can't wait to test it to see exactly how it works, but I can't get my hands on it right this second. It's just all off this website in a picture that you can see here. The gifts, this is where you get your gear from the Seasonal Journey. So that's what I just basically went over. And here they list out which sets you get for each class. And like I said, the Witch Doctor is the Zunimasa. I don't really know the other builds. I just strictly play Witch Doctor. Sometimes I dabble into the other stuff, but I really don't play it. I'm just going to move on down. Seasonal Conquest. Seasonal Conquest, for me, I don't go through them to complete them all. Some completionists will probably go through there and want to do all of them. But the only reason why I do seasonal conquest is because the seasonal journey requires you to do one or two of them to get the top tier of seasonal journey. So that's what you go in there. Those seasonal conquests are stuff like what it says on screen here. I'll click it to make it a little bit larger, but complete acts 1 through 5 at max level in under 1 hour, which is pretty insane, but it's possible. I believe doing it in a big group is the best way to do it. But that's one of the intense ones. Some of the other ones are a little bit better, like do a T10 rift in under 2 minutes, I think it was, 2 or 5 minutes. I don't know. There's a couple different versions of it. I think the 5-minute one was the T13 challenge. But there's a whole bunch of different ones. They cycle out each season. The seasonal leaderboards are just going to rank all of our players on who can do the greater rift possible. So you get your gear, you level it up with your gems, your legendary gems. You want to level those up by doing the greater rifts. I'll show those in a future video, but you want to get your gear, level it up, get the best stats you can get on there, reroll whatever you need to do, and then push out those greater rifts. Whoever can do the highest greater rift will be on the highest on their leaderboard here. Looks like they have a couple little sections on here. You got the friends, global, and top global. So that's pretty cool. They have the conquest. It looks like you're just going to be able to cycle through all this with just the L1, R1, just kind of like your normal menu system. But looking pretty good so far. I can't wait to dive in there and get my hands on it. Moving down the end of the season, just like on PC, whenever the season ends, you don't lose any of your gear. It sends it to you. And here on the console versions, we have the mailbox. So it's going to put it into your mailbox. On PC, it puts it down on the bottom. And it's basically like a mailbox. But you can't send things to other players like you can on console versions. But in the mailbox, you'll have your gear from your seasonal that you'll have to get within 30 days. After 30 days, it's just going to delete it. So anything that you had in there is just going to be wiped out. So be careful of that if you stepped away towards the end of the season. Keep note of whenever the season ends so you can go in there and grab your loot, because that's probably going to be your best gear that you've ever had. Alright, I'm not going to leave it for another video. I'm just going to do it right now. I just want to go over a couple things that some people overlook and don't really know that it's possible to do to level up your gear. What I mean by that is, first thing, you can come up here. Each area has a different location for her, but the artisan here, you click on her, you can come in here and you can enchant your gear. Basically, you can click on a piece of gear and you can re-roll these stats. Anything that you don't like, you can re-roll. So this life per hit, bam, I can click on that. Gives me a little warning. I can say accept, and then we can start re-rolling that and get a better stat. Like if I wanted health on there, or if I wanted a socket on there, I'll be able to just re-roll and re-roll and re-roll as long as I have enough mats, and I can get whatever I want. Each time you roll, it keeps going up and up and up in price. The mats stay the same. So this is number one. You can only re-roll one stat, like this right here. You come up here, I've already re-rolled this once and I got the socket, and that's all I can basically do. Unless there's a little cube that you can find and you can apply it to a weapon and it automatically gives you a socket. So once you do that, then you can re-roll another stat, and that's just like a free roll basically right there, as it takes that socket roll out of the mix. Alright, some people do know about re-rolling your gear like that. But some people that I found, they don't really know that you can augment your gear. Augment means is basically you're taking a legendary gem that you have leveled up and you don't want it anymore because it's going to eat it up. You come into your cube, find the recipe, which is all the way down in the bottom, augment ancient item. And that's the other thing, it has to be an ancient item. So you get your ancient item first, or second, whatever, as long as you level up your legendary gem to what it says on the right here. 30 for a weapon, 30 or above, very important. You don't have to stop at 30. 40 or above for rings, or that's just jewelry. and 50 and above for your normal gear. You level that up to as high as you can go. I would say do whichever one you can get to fastest. Doing the weapon first may make more sense, just so you can get more power and get going off a lot faster. Then do your rings, and then do all your gear pieces. But keeping that in mind, getting neck piece or your rings is almost impossible to get your ancient version early on in the game. With my PC version right now, I still don't have a amulet or a ring with the ancient. They're just regular old amulet and a ring, and they don't even have the best rolls on them. It's just because the amulets and the rings are so damn hard to get the ancient version of them. Usually you'll get a weapon and your chest piece and legs and whatnot a lot sooner than you will your jewelry pieces. But you get that, you augment it, and say you leveled it up to 50. You click your ancient item that you want to put in there. See, my gem right here is level 51, so bam, I could put that into my gloves, and that's gonna put, I think it's like 250 intellect, bam, right into my gloves. That's the best way to get some easy intellect, which equals out to more power for a witch doctor. And if you're using your main stat, that's what it's going to do for all your classes, just give you more power, and the more items you do that to, the higher grade of rifts you're going to be able to do. That just about does it. Thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. My first video, as of right now, did about 50 views. That blew it out of the water. I wasn't even expecting that much for my very first video. So thanks for everybody that has watched it. Other than that, have a good night. Enjoy the seasons. I'm not going to be able to get started until later on tomorrow night, so everybody that starts up is going to get a head start on me. I'll be on Eazytarget. Send me an invite if you see me on, and I'll join up with you. I'm looking for people to play with. Have a good night. Bye.